give you updates of some 3 persons who have been killed, 9 injured as gunmen attack Odome community in the Nkwanta South municipality. All these and more here on Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7. I am Alfred Okansi. Welcome. Mrs. Safwa Boahin is here with a summary of the news. Safwa.
That's right, Alfred. Thank you. And welcome to the news summary segment. Our first story, the Minister for Interior, on the advice of the National Security Council and by executive instrument, has imposed a curfew on some communities in the Nkwanta South municipality of the OT region. The curfew, which takes effect from Friday, June 19, 2026, restricts movement in the affected areas from 5 p.m. to 6 a.m. daily. The affected communities include Keri, Abriwanko Junction, Nyambo Junction, Shari, Kromase, Power, Nyakuma, Odome, Bonanchi, and Nkwanta. Now, away from that, the Narcotics Control Commission, NARCOC, has arrested 5 students of Central University during a targeted operation on campus over the alleged involvement in the sale and distribution of cannabis and cannabis-infused products. The suspects, who are level 100, level 300, and level 400 students, were picked up following intelligence gathered on illicit drug activities within the university community. And to the Ashanti Regional, where the lawyer for the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, NPP, Bernard Entwibu-Esiako, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, says he will apply for the rescheduling of the July 3 judgment date in the ongoing Samraboy illegal mining case. Samuel Atachia argues that it would be unfair for the court to proceed to judgment following the recent change in the defense team's legal representation. Away from that, Ghana's economy expanded by 6.4% in the first quarter of 2026, according to the latest data released by the Ghana Statistical Service. This represents a slight increase from the 6.2% recorded in the corresponding period of 2025, pointing to continued resilience in economic activity. Now to a last story, where the Judicial Service of Ghana has moved to clarify the circumstances surrounding a visit by Chief Justice Paul Bafo-Boni to the camp of the Black Stars in Canada, following public commentary triggered by photographs of the visit. In a press statement issued on 19th June 2026 by the Communications Department of the Judicial Service, the institution explained that the Chief Justice is currently on official vacation and that his trip to Canada was undertaken in his private capacity and entirely at his own expense. And this is where we end our news summary segment, and over to you, Alfred.
Safwa, appreciate you for this. Thank you so much. It's more news on 3news.com. Make some time and visit 3news.com. This is Hot Edition. We're live on 3FM 92.7, also on 3FM 927 on Facebook and on YouTube. You can share your thoughts, views, comments, and opinions with us. Read out to you and to the rest of the world. There's a lot on the table in the menu this evening, and we sink our teeth into matters arising regarding the responses and reactions that the Judicial Service has been giving to how the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, Paul Bafo-Boni, appeared at the Black Stars that's opening match against Panama. The Judicial Service clarified the circumstances surrounding the Chief Justice Paul Bafo-Boni's visit to Canada following public commentary triggered by photographs of him at the Black Stars camp during the ongoing FIFA World Cup. In a statement issued earlier today, which we have a copy of, we're going to put it on the screen. If you're watching us on Facebook, you can go on Facebook at 3FM 927. We'll share the statement, the details of this statement from the Judicial Service with you on Facebook at 93. That's 3FM 927 on Facebook, and you see the copy of this statement we're talking about. Now, this is coming following the public commentary triggered by photographs of the Chief Justice at the Black Stars camp during the ongoing FIFA World Cup. In a statement that we're going to put right now, the Judicial Service said the Chief Justice was in Canada on official vacation and traveled in his private capacity using his personal resources. It stressed that the trip was not linked to any official state assignment or public expenditure. According to the statement, Justice Paul Bafo-Boni took the opportunity during his stay to visit the national team and offer encouragement as they compete at the global tournament. The service described the gesture as a personal patriotic act in support of the Black Stars. Now, the clarification follows widespread reactions on social media and other platforms after images of the Chief Justice with the team circulated online, sparking debate about the nature of the visit. Responding to public concerns, the Judicial Service emphasized that judicial independence does not require judges to isolate themselves from public life or refrain from participating in national activities. It noted that judges, as citizens, are entitled to engage in lawful social and national events, provided such engagements do not compromise their constitutional duties. The statement further stressed that the Constitution requires judicial officers to uphold independence of mind, impartiality, and fidelity to the law, adding that principles continue to guide the conduct of the Chief Justice and the judiciary. It also cautioned against interpreting interactions among holders of constitutional offices, whether official or informal, as evidence of bias or political affiliation, noting that such engagements are common in democratic governance and do not in themselves undermine institutional independence. Reaffirming the Chief Justice's commitment to his duties, the service said Justice Bafoboni remains dedicated to the fair and impartial administration of justice to all persons, regardless of political, social, or other considerations. It further highlighted the Black Stars as a unifying national symbol, adding that support for the team should not be misconstrued as compromising the neutrality of any constitutional officer and also an office holder. The Judicial Service urged the public to replace that particular position and perception about its service, that's the office holders and service personnel, as a matter in proper context and disregard what is described as unfounded interpretations of the Chief Justice's visit, reaffirming its commitment to maintaining public confidence in the judiciary through integrity, independence, and adherence to the rule of law. So it's a pretty long statement giving some detail as to exactly how the Chief Justice Paul Bafoboni appeared at the Black Stars opening game against Panama 2 days ago, which has generated some public reaction and also commentary on social media. It's live here on Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7, also on Kesme 107.1 in Tamale, and on W93.5 in Y and beyond. Well, the minority has been questioning the whereabouts of the former Maslock boss, Sedina Tamaklo, who was extradited to Ghana just a little over a week ago. And let's take a listen to what the members of parliament have been saying.
Remember Abuga Pele was sent to court by the same appointor. So Sedinam too is going to follow suit. If he's able to appeal or do what we are hearing and exonerate herself, fine. If he cannot, she goes to serve.
She has plans to appeal.
That is what the same minority are telling you. She's appealing. Everybody in this country, I said that, look, let's leave people who have indulged in criminal acts after being appointed to face the laws of this country. Let's stay away and allow the judicial system, the Attorney General, and the prosecutors to deal with the case. She has been convicted. They say she's under custody. Whether she's at Nsawam or she's in the house, it depends on what he has told the government or told the security agencies, and they have allowed him to go to wherever they have put him. We don't have authority over that.
Away from...
Well, you have some members of parliament, that's the majority in parliament. Let's hear from the minority, who are also asking questions about the whereabouts of Sedina Tamaklo, and that's what the majority was responding to. But these are the concerns of the minority regarding the matter of the whereabouts of Sedina Tamaklo and why they believe that some clarity needs to be given.
We are having an accountable democracy where you expect government to provide full details in terms of where she was received and where she has been sent to, exactly who received her, and then the details as to whether she's in there to serve the full sentence as we have her convicted by a court of competent jurisdiction. And so it is not adequate for government spokesperson to say that she is in prison's custody, because you can be under the care of prisons and still be in one home or the other. You can be in the hospital and still be under the care of the prison service. And so we want a definitive information from the minister. And if she has indeed been taken there, where is the information not coming from government? If government fails to provide that as we have requested, we will use all the available tools available to us in Parliament to make those inquiries so that the Minister for Interior may be asked those questions to come and provide details to us. But we don't need to trigger that option since government has to be accountable to its people. This is a matter of national interest.
She's in the country, so there's no problem about asking where Sedenam is. If they want to know where it is, it's very easy. They can file a question on the floor of Parliament once we are in Parliament and summon the minister to come to the floor of Parliament.
Well, the minister in charge of government communications, Phyllis Kwatiofosu, who is also the Brasebo Kwamankase member of Parliament, indicated that Sedina Tamaklo is serving her prison term and she is in prison. Well, take a listen to him.
Corrupt persons in this government, and Mahama in particular. Remember Abuga Pele was sent
to come and rave and rant over things that they have no information. On what basis is Richard, who supports the absconding of Selufoyata, a former finance minister? He is not under any house arrest. If Frank Lukujo tells you that, he is not telling you the truth. Let him name the so-called top government official who told him that. Then we'll have a discussion. But as of now, he is under prison custody. And as and when the prison authorities are, they will speak to you. I think that is what we need to do.
So that's Phyllis Kwatiofosu. There is a minister in charge of government communications responding to the fact that Sedina Tamaklo is in prison. Well, the minority is still asking questions about clarity on exactly where she is. We'll get a lot more into that as we go on here on Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7. But former Ascent Central Member of Parliament Kennedy AGYAPONG has launched scathing attacks on some members of the NPP, including the Bono Regional Chair, Kwame Bafo, popularly known as Abronya DC, and warned that he could spill the beans on the issues within the party. Kennedy AGYAPONG also criticized both the NPP and the governing NDC over the 12-year delay in completing the 500-bed Afari military hospital project in the Ashanti region. His comments have triggered fresh controversy within the party, culminating in a petition to the NPP leadership. The petition, dated June 18 and submitted by Charles Opoku, Deputy National TESCON Coordinator of the New Jabeng South constituency, accuses Kennedy AGYAPONG of repeatedly making public statements that undermine fellow party members and contradict official party position. Addressed to the NPP General Secretary, the petition is calling for disciplinary action against the former lawmaker and former flag-bearer hopeful of the NPP, Kennedy AGYAPONG, describing his comments and conduct as a recurring parting that threatens party cohesion as the NPP begins preparations for the 2028 general elections. But first, let's take a listen to the remarks by Kennedy AGYAPONG that has sparked the outrage among sections of the NPP members.
MPD for them ye better. Now, Omufi said, Niomuya Yano, our campaign, they may they can't shut me down. Ghana for Peso Mutiania. Women say almost agenda 111. Almost to be completed by Kuprana. And me, my private said, Mimini Abronya and Kojina platforms in your campaign. Mimini Atachia and Kojina platforms in your campaign. Mimini Adrastapo and Kojina platforms in your campaign. Mimini Chairmansa and Kojina platforms in your campaign. Mimini Kota and Kojina platforms in your campaign. June 2027, MPP for minimum action for Ghana, you will be surprised. I say Abronya power needs some for Ghana. Minimum Opia. All over the place.
I was the chairman for Defense and Interior. This hospital, NDC, it was started by President Kufuor the locations and all those things. NDC came to start it, and when we came, I'm an MPP, but I have to tell you the truth. We're talking about Ghana, and nobody. We didn't do anything. Read my lips. I'm telling you the gospel truth. I was the chairman for Defense and Interior. When we decided to go and inspect Afari, they stopped us. We didn't go. So I heard somebody talking 15 months. Has Afari Hospital been there for 15 months? We were there for 8 years. You didn't do it. Don't blink your eye. See, we are not doing politics. I'm speaking the truth. This is Ghana. Stop that.
That's Kennedy AGYAPONG there. And meanwhile, the former Deputy Defense Minister, Kofi Amankwa-Manu, has described Kennedy AGYAPONG's claims of stopping his committee from assessing the Afari military hospital while the MPP was in power as baseless. According to Amankwa-Manu, he sat at the chair of the Project Implementation Committee at the Defense Ministry, and never did he cite any request from Kennedy AGYAPONG-led committee at the time in the 8th Parliament to visit the said hospital. He spoke with William Evans Income earlier today.
Instead, his committee had wanted to visit Afari, but they were blocked.
It cannot be true. It simply cannot be true, because he was the chairman for the Defense and Interior Committee, and the Defense and Interior Committee has oversight responsibility over the Ministry of Defense, and so it will be something really, I don't know how to put it, but it is something that will even question, the seat on which he sat. Because if as a chairman of a committee with responsibility over oversight responsibility, and then you want to go or come to Afari, I say come because I'm in Kumasi right now, come to Afari, and somebody will prevent you. On what basis would you be prevented? In the first place, the Committee on Health does not have oversight responsibility over the activities of the Ministry of Defense. And yet, when they put in the request to come and visit Afari, the then minister, the Honorable Dominic Nitu, actually accompanied the Committee on Health to Afari. And so it will be surprising that he will prevent his own committee from visiting. And besides, for me, these are records that we can easily check. Because if you want to visit anything as a committee, you write to the ministry that you want to visit. And so the ministry has records. I know the Ministry of Defense has records. People can go and check. The committee as well, the secretariat of the Committee on Defense and Interior, they also do have records. People can go and check to see if indeed the committee wrote to the ministry wanting to come to Afari and they were prevented. That for me can never be true. And for the 4-year period between 2021 to 2024 that I sat in chair as the chairman for the Project Implementation Committee or unit of the Ministry of Defense, there was not even once that I cited any letter requesting members on the Defense and Interior Committee, coming to Afari, let alone to be refused. That for me is something that cannot be said to be true. It is not true.
Oh, that's the former Deputy Defense Minister in the Aswal MPP administration, Kofi Amankwa-Manu there, speaking to my colleague, William Evans Income. Let's go on to the telephone now. Kwesi Kwarteng is private legal practitioner, and also he was one of the leaders of Kennedy AGYAPONG's campaign team ahead of that keenly contested FLAGBEARER race last year. He's joining us on the telephone right now. Council, good evening.
Good evening, Alfred. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine.
Perfect. Now, you just heard the former Deputy Defense Minister, Kofi Amankwa-Manu, challenging the position espoused by that's Kennedy AGYAPONG, one that you supported during the FLAGBEARERship. He has indicated that there was no time that the Ken-led Committee of Defense in the 8th Parliament brought in a request to visit the Afari Hospital. So that position espoused by Kennedy AGYAPONG cannot be true. It is far from the facts. What do you say to this?
Well, and I'm not interested in addressing the comments he's made. I am interested in the overall well-being of our party, and our party uniting and reconciling all ranks to be able to put us in a better position and a better place to be able to compete for the 2028 election. It is natural that parties go through phases, and of course, for that matter, political parties go through phases. And after such a very keen and tensely contested presidential primaries, it is natural that you get some of these public disagreements and high-profile members within the party. So that is expected. I am not so much enthused in going to the substantive issue. I mean, that one is less for them, and I'm sure you media people can even cross-check with the facts. What I'm interested in, like I indicated, is the supreme well-being of the party. AGYAPONG has always been deeply invested party member or party man, and I'm sure any concerns or comments that will come for him ordinarily will not be designed to break the party. And so, if you look at it, it is not really Ken versus MPP. It is not really Ken and any other matter. The concerns Ken raise are concerns that, for me, it tests how the party manages disagreements, even when they are public. And of course, on the subject matter of the hospital, Ken was really raising a concern about how the Ghanaian holds the MPP to a higher standard and the higher expectation of the MPP to have completed all projects that were inherited. I mean, that is how I understood it. But I mean, if at the end of the day you are also having other commentaries on it, I do not think it should degenerate into a banter. What I feel is that it's just an opportunity for the party to reflect. It's just an opportunity for the party to unite, to the party to strengthen, especially its own internal conflict resolution mechanism, reconciliation mechanism, and dispute mechanism. And I'm very confident that the Dr. Bawumia-led administration is going to unite all fronts so that hopefully, even in our disagreement, whether public or indoors, we should come together stronger and make sure that we push the cause of the party going forward.
Now, you say you're interested in party cohesion, unity, and you're hoping that Dr. Bawumia-led administration would unite all fronts. But that is not what the sentiments of the members of the party largely are about regarding your candidate. I mean, the man that you supported in the flag-bearership. These continuous public commentary, I don't know if you've heard, beyond this hospital matter, what KENEDY has said in that interview on his television station, indicating that, look, by June next year, he's going to rain brim and firestone on the party, and that he will reveal some things, spill the beans by June next year. That's the timeline he's giving, that we should wait and see what would happen. I mean, such comments, do they in any way engender that kind of unity that you're talking about?
You see, strong parties are not parties without disagreements. And strong parties are not parties without criticisms. Strong parties are not parties where members openly sometimes challenges the status quo. The whole idea and the beauty of democracy is the fact that we can agree to disagree and even disagree to agree. And so strong parties are parties that promote strong reconciliation and dispute mechanism. The truth is that nobody benefits from this prolonged internal conflict except our opponents. And so for me, at a moment like this, I would rather align or gear towards an opportunity for engagement, reconciliation, and not to promote condemnation or any comments that will gear towards dividing our front. And like I indicated, I am confident that even KENEDY himself, the leadership of the party, and especially our FLAGBEARER, all of them will sit and smoke the peace pipe. And I'm sure some of these comments will not even get there. I mean, this is a gentleman who probably may be expressing, some degree of frustration, occasion or coming out from how things went south or how things went bad, and of course how his personality supposedly was attacked during the internal presidential primaries and how he felt probably it has not been dealt with as of now. And so it is natural for such comments to come. But I mean, it's just an expression of concerns so that we can all reflect and indeed press the buttons and make sure that our reconciliation efforts and reconciliation mechanisms is actually harnessed and deepens. That's how I construe whatever has happened, not necessarily somebody going to destroy the party. He's a deeply invested party man and will not do anything ordinarily to destroy the fortunes of our party.
I see. Well, that is not the position of at least one member of your party. I'm talking about the Deputy National TESCON Coordinator for the New Japan South constituency, one Charles Opoko. I'm sure you know him. Now, he says whatever Kennedy Japon is doing has nothing to do with smoking the peace pipe. That peace pipe cannot be smoked the way he's talking. And that's why he has petitioned the General Secretary of the party for disciplinary action to be taken against Kennedy Japon, or he should even be expelled from the party. That is what he is asking for.
I know Charles Opoku, and I want to judge his comments holistically from the time the primaries was on, and how disrespectful he was to Kennedy Japon and those of us in the Ken's camp. I would want to waive any invitation to respond to any comments that had come to him. It is within his right to write any petition against any individual whatsoever believes. We can only wish him the best and hope that he achieves whatever he wants. But I'm not interested in that. I'm a lawyer. I understand the basis and situations where sometimes you become mechanical about the law and you opt for the litigation route. I am also aware that even outside litigation, there is also always an opportunity for alternative dispute resolution. And I believe that matters like this, these are internal issues and requires internal solutions and internal mechanism. I don't think I would want to be the one who will make commentaries on somebody who is just chasing clout using the situation. I don't support people who try to become heroes taking advantage of moments, and especially when the moment that does not inure to anybody benefits. I'm confident that the true party leadership are more capable in terms of addressing some of these concerns, which supposedly on the outside may appear as a setback, but for me is an opportunity for reflection, is an opportunity for reconciliation, and is an opportunity to strengthen the cause of our unity.
Would you agree with anybody who asked the party leadership to sanction Kennedy Japon, apply disciplinary measures for his comments?
I feel that would be a bit premature. We are a party that believes in the principles of democracy, and we're a party that believes that people can vent and bring out their disagreements with the party, and we shall respect all opinions. We are a party that also believes in structures. We are a party that also believes in discipline, and we are a party that has leadership. And I'm sure consequential decisions relative to the current moment and the current happenings are within the purview of the party structures and the party leadership. And I'm not sure any person could just get up and say sanction A, B, C, D. I mean, that will indirectly mean that we are being dismissive of the concerns that were also raised. And I'm not sure ultimately it benefits anyone in the party. So we should be very measured, and we should be very tactful in terms of our approach to addressing our concerns. It depends on how we see it, whether we see a half full glass as half empty or half full. I see it as a good opportunity to reflect, especially now that we are now into 2028. We can do better, unite our fronts, and hopefully we should be able to come back stronger.
Mr. Kwarteng, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Alfred.
Kwesi Kwarteng is former spokesperson of Kennedy Japon. the flag bearership of the NPP, that race last year, that KENEDY was defeated by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who is the flag bearer of the NPP going into election 2028. Well, there's a statement that's just come through from Dr. Brian Achampong, who was also in that race, seeking to lead the NPP as its flag bearer, but lost. He was actually a surprise candidate in that race, where many people did not see him coming and winning that particular number of votes. But there you have it. Well, he has waded into the matter of KENEDY statements, or the comments that I just played to you, and how it borders on party unity. Sixtus Don Ulo is here with a statement from Dr. Brian Achampong. What does he say?
Let me take you straight to the fourth paragraph. It says that I have followed with concern the recent remarks by Honorable KENEDY AGYAPONG and his threats of action against the party and against certain individuals. Ken is a son of the party, a man whose energy, resources, and loyalty over decades cannot be questioned, and whose voice carries weight across our grassroots. It is for that very reason that I urge him respectfully but firmly to lower the temperature and to lend his considerable influence to the work of healing rather than division. And now, Alfred, let me take you back to the second paragraph, the third paragraph. Our party suffered a painful defeat in 2024. The single most important task before us between now and 2028 is to rebuild, reunite, and return to power. Nothing, no grievance, no provocation, no personal quarrel can be allowed to stand above that mission. Every day we spend fighting one another is a day we hand freely to our opponents. But even in all of that, calling for restraint and urging all to be united, he says that we must also understand the pain with which Mr. Agyapong speaks. And that I take you to another of the paragraphs. He says that, let me be candid about the source of his hate. When it is real, not because it is real, I beg your pardon. During and after the contest, a few voices around the flag bearer and even my own camp directed disrespect and sometimes insults at Honorable Agyapong that were unworthy of our tradition. Many of us wished those individuals had been restrained and wished our elders had moved more swiftly to call them to order. That wish was legitimate. And so he goes on to say that in all of these, the most important thing is to put party first and to ensure that everybody is working for the unity of the party. And for that, I take you to the last but one paragraph. It says that, so I appeal to Honorable KENEDY AGYAPONG, to his supporters and to mine. Let us lay down the weapons of internal warfare, action the verb unity, and let us close ranks behind us, our flag bearer, so that in 2028 we restore the new patriotic party to the service of the people of Ghana. So these are the words of the man who is always the lone voice calling for peace in the party.
Absolutely so. And it's coming at a very interesting time, is it not? I mean, a time that there's already a petition for disciplinary action to be taken against KENEDY AGYAPONG. Sixtus Donolo, thank you. Thank you so much. This is Hot Edition. We're live on 3FM 92.7, also on 3FM 97 on Facebook and on YouTube. We'll take you to Nkwanta South. Some violence, fresh violence there has led to the death of 3 people, unfortunately. Stay with us. We'll give you some updates after this quick break. welcome back. It's live here on 3FM 92.7. This is Hot Edition. We're live as well on Kiss Me 107.1 in Tamale and beyond, and also on W93.5 in Wa and beyond. Before we get into the matter of that incident, that is the fresh violence in Nkwanta South, the Narcotics Control Commission has arrested 5 students of Central University during a targeted operation on campus over their alleged involvement in the sale and distribution of cannabis and cannabis-infused products. The suspects, who are level 100, level 300, and level 400 students, were picked up following intelligence gathered on illicit drug activities within the Central University community. According to preliminary investigation, the students were allegedly engaged in the production and sale of cannabis-infused ice cream, sobolo, toffees, pepe, and eggs, while also dealing in raw cannabis. And they also had egg and pepper, what is popularly known as Kosiani Meko infused cannabis. Now, the operation uncovered quantities of the suspected substance, which have been seized for forensic examination as part of ongoing investigations. Narcotics Control Commission officials have reaffirmed their commitment to combating drug-related activities in educational institutions, warning students against involvement in the trafficking and consumption of narcotics substances. Now, the arrested students are expected to assist investigations as authorities work to unravel the full scope of the operation, identifying additional persons connected to the trade and prosecution. Richard Commando is joining us. He's a security analyst and fraud and risk consultant. We have 2 issues to engage him on, but Mr. Commando, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Now, first off, we're just getting this information from the Narcotics Control Commission regarding the arrest of some 5 students of the Central University. We understand this was a targeted operation on campus over the alleged involvement in the sale and distribution of cannabis and cannabis-infused products. We're talking about a cannabis-infused ice cream, sobolo, toffees, kosiane meko. I mean, like egg and pepper infused with sobolo and so on. I mean, this we understand, according to the Narcotics Control Commission, is going on in a number of tertiary campuses. I mean, how concerning is this for you?
Definitely it's concerning and it's very alarming. And I'm aware it has been an operation they have engaged themselves in for some time. So I'm happy they have made some level of arrest. If they continue with the investigation, I believe they should keep this as quickly as possible, because the undertones are not looking good, particularly within the campuses where you expect students to go and learn. And some people have turned it into drug peddling schemes for which they want to mess up with our students.
Beyond just the targeted crackdown, with what has happened now at Central University, obviously it's going to be a signal to the others who are doing same on the other university campuses. How do you expect the strategy to be like going forward?
No, we were of the view that they should add some of the secondary schools, because some of the secondary schools are also becoming so notorious for drug peddling and students using drugs, which is leading to some level of misbehavior and some other antisocial tendencies. I want to believe that the model they use at Central University, if they apply it to all the other universities, undercover operations such as this will last for a very long time. But if they adopt the same strategy, I believe they will get the results they are looking for.
And on the matter of the fresh violence in Nkwanta South, we're also just learning that the Minister for the Interior, Mohammed Muntaka Mubarak, acting on the advice of National Security Council and through an executive instrument, has imposed a curfew on several communities in Nkwanta South municipality following what has been described as a deadly attack that left 3 people dead. 9 others have been injured as well. The affected communities are Keri, Abrewanko Junction, Nyambo Junction, Shari, Kromasi, Power, Nyankoma, Odomi, and Nkwanta as well. I mean, the Nkwanta area has a history of this violence? And what does this study, with this latest that has led to the death of 3 people as we speak?
I'm a little bit worried because it keeps on reoccurring. And I think the police will need to reinforce some of the proper law enforcement operations to be able to curtail the reoccurrences of some of these deadly attacks on innocent people. I wouldn't be surprised if the police make arrests, but it is true that this particular one and many of the ones that happened in the past has left to devastating effects on the affected communities. And we will need to do more in terms of law enforcement in curtailing some of this violence.
Beyond the curfew, from where you sit, what should be done? I mean, to ensure that the chiefs, the traditional leaders, the people themselves also take up that responsibility of ensuring some level of peace.
Engagement, continuous engagement is key. People being held accountable is also key. Perpetrators being brought to book is also key. Continual law enforcement exercise within the area will ensure that they will minimize the effect of some of the attacks, or they will curtail it at all. Other than that, curfews are short-term measures to ensure that law enforcement has taken a grip of the place. Until that is done, then the curfew will have to continue for some time.
Mr. Commando, appreciate your time on this. Thank you. Richard Commando is a security analyst with his thoughts on the latest development from the Minister of the Interior, acting on the advice of the National Security Council, and through an executive instrument has imposed a curfew on several communities in Nkwanta South municipality following a deadly attack that left 3 people dead. If you go on our Facebook page at 3FM927, we're showing you videos of this unfortunate development, and then also we've shown you the captured bodies of these persons who have died. We blurred them, and viewer discretion is advised. But then again, this is the rather unfortunate development that we're getting from the Nkwanta South municipality. The curfew takes effect from Friday, June 19, 2026, and will be enforced daily, 5 p.m. to 6 a.m. until further notice. And in a statement, the government urged chiefs, elders, opinion leaders, youth, and residents in the affected areas to exercise restraint and embrace peaceful means of resolving their differences. Authorities also announced a total ban on the possession and carrying of arms, ammunition, and other offensive weapons within the affected communities. Security agencies have warned that anyone found in possession of such weapons will be arrested and prosecuted in accordance with the law. So that's the latest from the Nkwanta South area. Away from that, pupils of the Tendamba Primary School in Wa have begun studies in a new and improved learning environment after being relocated from their former school, whose over 70-year-old structure was demolished to make way for the construction of the government's proposed 24-hour economy market. Correspondent Ibrahim Wangara visited the new school site and has come through with this report.
For years, learners of Tendamba Primary School in Wa learn under a school structure that has stood for more than 7 decades. The aging building, which had become a familiar part of the community's history, was recently demolished to pave the way for the construction of the government 24-hour market. While saying goodbye to the old classrooms was emotional for some, the learners have found a new reason to smile. They have been relocated to a newly established Tendamba Model School, where they are now studying in spacious classrooms, fitted with modern furniture and improved learning facilities. Excitement was evident on the faces of some of the children as they settle into their new classrooms. Education officials say the new facility is not only providing a better learning atmosphere, but also expected to encourage more parents to enroll their children in school. Alhaji Suleiman Mujib is the Public Relations Officer for the Wa Municipal Education Directorate.
Directorate had a number of engagement with from the heads, teachers, learners, and even the parents to prepare their minds and battle ready for this movement. We could realize that on Monday they started teaching and learning here, and so everything is in order. As you have entered the classrooms, it's an eye sure that the classrooms are spacious enough and they are not fully occupied. Once we get enrollment, for the meantime, the classrooms will be able to accommodate them.
The Municipal Chief Executive for WA, Nura Issa Danwana, who visited the place to have first-hand information, interacted with learners and school authorities, reassuring them that the relocation was only the beginning of broader improvements.
We have upgraded the school from Tendamba Primary School to Tendamba Model School. We have upgraded the structures to merit a model school standard. The classroom has been tiled, sealed, and then we have ceiling fans in the classroom. We will be constructing a 12-unit classroom block here that will be having a computer lab, a science lab, and so many other facilities that befit the status of a model school.
That's the development there, but let's go on to the telephone lines now. Jimpe Nana Kadiri is the secretary to the overlord of the Wala traditional area. That's the Wana. He's joining us on the telephone. We'll have a conversation on this shortly, and we'll get some thoughts and views and comments on this particular development. And then also, we've been joined as well on the telephone by the MCE for the area. Honorable, good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening. Thank you too for having me.
Alaj Nura Issa Danwana, did I get it right? Perfect.
Right.
Perfect. I mean, what's the fact surrounding this demolition and construction of this 24-hour market, which led to this decision to demolish this 70-year-old structure and relocate the students?
Oh, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. I think somewhere last year we had a letter from the local government, Minister of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs to allocate or site land for the construction of this particular market, and we're to give some requirements and specifications of the scope of the market were given to us. So at the letter, we were supposed to have engagement with various stakeholders, including the traditional rulers. So looking at WA and its peculiar situation and our previous experience with regards to certain of markets, and for here, the numbers are always the custodians of the land, and being the one being the head or the overlord controls everybody, including the Tendamba. So we went to WANA to inform WANA that government has given us an opportunity to have one of the 24-hour economic markets. But this is our problem. Then after the narrations, WANA also called all the other stakeholders together and tasked the Tendambas to look for a suitable site for the special given. Then this team, together with the assembled technical team, and then the consultants went around scouting for a place for this particular market, because the specification is we should be able to get between 4 to 5 hectares of land for this particular market, because we are getting the model 1, which is the biggest model, that's the metropolitan status. So after that, they searched, and then it was one of their rounds, they identified that they couldn't get a place, but Tendamba was a suitable place because, one, the land has already been encouraged by market women who sell tomatoes and other ingredients around this particular place. And even some people also place containers and other things, and they have already encouraged on about at least 1/3 of the land has been encouraged by squatters. They realized that that place could be a very viable area. And again, they also realized that the school is collapsing, because the school used to have a population of about 1,200 people previously, but their current population as such now is 243. They also realized that the school has not seen innovation for so many years. And again, the school has been nicknamed the Kokola School, because Bindakolo means fecal matter. That is physics. Because it is somewhere people come to defecate a lot around this place. Even coming into office as MCA, I've had a very difficult task in dealing with this patient. I've cleared the place severally, put streetlights on this particular place, but because it has been there and the place has been tagged with this bad name, people still do a lot of bad things around that place. Notwithstanding that, we realized that there was no any other suitable place. And again, the school is a primary school that is separated from its junior high school. It's about 500 meters away from its junior high school. And we also realized that the classrooms were very empty because the school is having 5 classroom blocks. And the school was only occupying 2 blocks, and the remaining 3 blocks were locked up. They were not being used. It was only 1 block. The school feeding caterers were using one of the blocks, half of it, and then the 2.5 were empty and locked up. We went to the junior high school. We realized that they were also having 6 empty classroom blocks because it is the primary school that feeds the junior high school. And because the enrollment has reduced at the primary school, that has affected the junior high school. So the junior high school, the enrollment has reduced, and they're also having 6 empty classroom blocks. And these classroom blocks were being occupied by churches. Because they were empty, these churches took advantage of all the classrooms were empty
occupied the place,
and were using them for their church activities.
Okay.
So we got this classroom, then we went to another nearby school, which is very close because it's a cluster of schools. Noria, and Noria too, there were also another extra 6 classroom blocks. So we realized that we could easily relocate this particular school, and that will pave way for us to be able to construct a 24-hour economy.
Great, and that's what you've done now. And I appreciate the detail. I appreciate the detail that you've given to us. Thank you so much. Alhaji Nura Isa Dawana is a Chief Executive Officer, that's a Municipal Chief Executive Officer of the Wa Municipality. Thank you very much for joining us. And this is Hot Edition. Andrew Sifabanfo is standing by with the latest in the world of sports.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the sports segment here on Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7. My name is Andrew Sefa Pamfo. Let's start off from the camp of the Black Stars, where defender Jerome Opoku has relived his World Cup debut against Panama, expressing his delight. The defender played the full throttle of game as Ghana won by 1-0. He's also looked ahead to the Black Stars' next game against England.
A dream come true, you know. To play in front of the fans, and my family was there. It's something that I dreamed of for a long time growing up, and I thought it was a solid performance. You know, I'm happy to keep a clean sheet with my defenders, the back line, and the 2 goalkeepers. So it was a team effort, and we done it. So yeah, buzzing. I think it's a special group, you know. There's a lot of different qualities, and it all makes us one great team, you know. So we've got experienced guys, people coming for their first World Cup like me, young players, senior players. So yeah, man, it's a healthy balance. So we're all happy. Every game's another game, you know. So England, Panama, Croatia, we all have the same focus to each game, and we want.
And so that was Black Stars defender Jerome Opoku speaking. Still on Ghana's game against England, defender Gideon Mensah says he expects a difficult test on Tuesday against the Three Lions, but remains hopeful of the team securing a win. England beat Croatia by 4-2 in their opening game to move atop of Group L with 3 points.
I think that's coming into the World Cup. We knew that this game was going to be our highlight. This game was going to be our final. I think we get 3 points from here, and then whatever that's going to happen in this game, we're going to try and get 3 points in the other games that is going to come our way. But then I think this is going to be like a very big motivation for us, the team, everyone. I think also Ghanaians to know that we are here to do.
And so that was Black Stars defender Gideon Mensah speaking, bringing an end to the sports segment here on Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7. My name is Andrew Sifa Bamfo.
Thank you so much, Andrew. You can find more on 3 Sports social media handles as they bring you the expert analysis, professional coverage of the ongoing Black Stars participation in the World Cup. It's been great so far. There's a lot of anticipation ahead of Tuesday. Trust the 3 Sports team to Rick Wampofo on the ground and monitoring what's happening in the Black Stars camp to bring you up to speed with everything that's happening. And as we also give you replica jerseys as gifts. Thank you to Robert Coleman, Wembley Sports, also making sure that we are your home for all the coverage of the Black Stars and other matches in the ongoing World Cup. My name is Alfred Akonse. Thank you for staying with us here on Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7. The drive continues, and then we're getting to analysis of the football match coming up next. Have a great evening.